Sitting out on the porch watching it rain. Used to do this a lot with my dad when I was a kid. We'd like to go outside, look up at the clouds when it was storming. Mom would always say, y'all get back in the house. Sitting out here thinking though, and it made me think about doing Mom and Dad's estate while Dad was still alive, and Mom's still alive, obviously. And we got to work together, Dad and I. And I remember sitting there and had a pile of stuff in the basement that was donate. Had a pile of stuff that was trash. And Dad and I were just going through things, and he'd been upstairs. He didn't feel real well that day. Come downstairs and he said, "What's this pile here?" I said, "Well, Dad, that pile there's donate, and this pile here's trash." He said, "Trash? You can't throw that away." And he picks up this old rusty toy train. And I remember thinking to myself, "Dad, that's some toy from when I was a kid. It's trash when you throw it away." He said, "You know what that is?" No, I wanted to say it was trash, but I could tell by the way he was acting that wasn't the right answer. So I said, "No, Dad, I don't know what that is." He said, "That right there is the last present that my daddy gave me before he died." Now backtrack, my dad's real dad died when my dad was 2 years old. Kind of changed the way I thought about things. He looked in that donate pile and said, "I know you're not giving this away," and he held up this blanket. And to be honest, it was a hideous blanket. It was a oriental looking blanket that I didn't want it. Dad said, that blanket there kept me warm many nights when I was in the Marine Corps. I bought that in Korea. And it made me think about that differently. We sold the blanket. It did pretty well at auction. And I still got the old toy train today. Plan to have it on display at my office at some point. But, you know, it just changed the way that I look at estates and changed the way that I look at what I do. I'm not just selling a house. I'm not just selling stuff. You're selling somebody's home. You're selling somebody's life. You know, it might look like something that has no value to you, but somebody kept it. They kept it for a reason. And it has value to somebody. So I've always tried to respect that when I work estates and when I do the personal property side of things. And it's funny now that Dad's been gone for almost 2 years now, and he's still teaching me stuff every single day. Love you, Dad.